Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And I had mentioned on one of my last lives that I would be doing a video about the social male. And so regarding the death of the baby that Kaylin had, her 4-month baby died. And so I wanted to talk about a comment and statement that she made to CPS because I received a call and the report was read to me. And I just want to explain to you how sociopathic females lie in certain situations. So, see, when you're dealing with two people that's in a relationship and neither one of them act like they have the best interests at heart for the kids, it's something called reasonable doubt, right? So when a baby dies in the care of two people that are highly irresponsible. So this is what Kaylin said, y'all. She said that since the baby's gone, she's not awakened anymore by the crying. Yeah, since the baby's gone, she no longer has to be awakened by the crying of the child. And what that is, in some sense, you can look up all kind of cases where mothers and fathers and even babysitters unalive babies and young children just for crying, y'all. Some people are not emotionally, spiritually right. Some people just not right in the head to be watching young babies. So it's like she's relieved that her 4-month-old child has passed away because she doesn't have to hear the baby cry. So that is what you call motive. That is literally motive. And remember, I told y'all I would be doing this video explaining what she said and how I feel about it. Let me see. I got a comment here. So thank you so much for the like, y'all. Let's see. Hello, Khadijah. How are you doing? Khadijah Abbas. And then hello to Limitless Plays. So thank you so much for the likes. Yeah, so there was a situation where a sociopathic female baby dies. And so her and Elijah were both present at the apartment when Kaylin baby dies. And so the sociopathic female, this is how she talks when her baby dies. She says, well, she can sleep at night. The baby hadn't even been dead 2 weeks, y'all. And she's already talking about how she can sleep. The baby's in her way. The baby was in her way. Basically, that's what it boils down to for a sociopathic female. And Child Protective Services allows her. This is in the Child Protective Services report, y'all. They already got a death case because someone died in the care of Kaylin. I've done videos about her, sociopathic female, and they allow her to have unsupervised visits with the 1-year-old child that's still alive after CPS states that Kaylin tells them that now since the baby's gone, she can sleep at night. This is called reasonable doubt, y'all. See, that's why you have so many people that end up in prisons when they're at the wrong place at the wrong time. The best thing that Elijah could have done, y'all, was what he did when he called and reported to me that Kaylin was allowing her child to eat shit. I swear, Child Protective Services, they're there to protect the mother. See, with Child Protective Services, this is how it feels. If you have a demonic, crazy ass mother that lets you eat feces and is okay with it and says right in the open that she can sleep at night since the 4-month-old is now gone. Now, it's not like she's saying this and some years have passed. That could be a motive why someone kills a child. People kill babies so they can sleep at night, y'all. They do. They unalive babies just so they can sleep at night. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. What I'm working on doing, y'all, is not being so involved, right, with certain situations. You got to really be careful when you're supporting people and there's been violence involved. I got the call, y'all. I always get the call in situations like this. I got the call that this is, the report was like literally read to me. She's basically like rejoicing that her child is dead. Like, my 4-month-old died. This is what she's saying. Her 4-month-old baby died. Now, this is in a CPS report. She said this to CPS. Now, this is how a sociopath twists up the lie. Now, I got the official report. But when the baby first died, she claimed that Elijah was complaining that the little boy, the 4-month-old, was crying at night. This is what she claimed. Now, Elijah was the one that called and reported to me that the oldest child was eating feces. See, in situations like this, you can't say for sure who did what to the baby, because both people have serious issues. Neither one of them should be watching any children. Let me see. There's some comments here. I'm at the library, y'all. I came to the library to do this live. So, yeah, Timo. Hello. Hello. Thank you for clicking on the likes, y'all. In these type of situations, just stay out of it. I'm learning as I just kind of get a perspective of just watching life and people and situations. Usually when you help people that come out of incarcerations, especially people that have disrespected you in the past, don't help them. One of the things I can say, the cycle of abuse stops when you completely stop helping. That's when it completely stops. The complete cycle of any abusive cycle when it comes to name calling, threats. It stops when you completely stop helping. These type of situations, domestic violence, assaults, name calling, and this is how the situation sparked off. September of 2024, when I went over there to Elijah's apartment, Kaylin had complained about Elijah just constantly calling her names. He was calling her bitches and whores and all kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's unbearable. I'm not gonna say that somebody has a right to hit and fight, but it is unbearable over time when someone is constantly calling you out of your name. It's just not natural as well. And then Kaylin starts fighting Elijah. And then eventually Elijah assaults her around the end of February. I knew when I saw the cut on her eye that he had did something to her. So the name calling is a major problem. I was just watching a video yesterday, and it was on the American Crime Femicide, I think. And I don't approve of nobody murdering nobody because they cussing them out, right? But I think this 34-year-old male, he shot a 22-year-old because she kept cussing him out. It is a trigger for people. It's a trigger. This is what I try to tell people. And this is one of the thing I have, it's like a certain protocol that I use, right? And I'm strict about it, y'all. I'm strict about it. And I oftentimes will lack understanding. I'm not gonna lie. I get people getting mad, and I get that anyone can lose their temper, include myself. But if somebody making you so mad where you feel like you have to cuss them out, just leave them alone. I don't want to keep no more kids. These kids nowadays are so horrible, and they getting worse and worse. And the first sign that you know that somebody's messed up, we oftentimes want to look at like the major things to prove somebody's messed up. This is how you know somebody's messed up. They got two things going on. They litter, throwing trash everywhere, and they got a cell phone. That's it. You ain't really got to look that far and really see no drastic stuff that's going on with people. If young people nowadays, like with Elijah and Kaylin, they got a cell phone and they trashing up their place. That's all you need to know. And with this information, somebody can be 80 years old. If they got a cell phone and trashing up their place, you know they got a bunch of demonic activity going on that can lead up to a 4-month-old child coming up dead in an apartment. But this is how the sociopathic female reacts. She tells Child Protective Services, now since the baby's gone, she can sleep at night. But then she tells me a lie over the phone. When it first happened, when the baby first died, she said that Elijah was complaining that the child was sleeping at night. That's a lie. Or they both complaining that the child was crying at night. Sociopathic females always lying, y'all. But you end up finding out the truth. Thank you so much for the likes, y'all. I found the truth out. A call just came in. I try to keep who the information came from confidential. I got texts and calls. Texts and calls. I sure did. About this situation. It's called reasonable doubt, y'all. And I'm going to tell you something else. No matter how bad somebody is, especially in the Black race. King W, you just came into a video where I'm talking about a sociopathic female and the death of her 4-month-old child and the way she reacts to it, saying that she can sleep at night now since the baby gone. She was talking like this and the baby hadn't even been deceased for 10 days, y'all. She got a new man that's on meth. This is how a sociopathic female moves on. Because I don't just talk about men on here. I talk about women too. A sociopathic female moves on. She got a new... So first of all, she dating a Black man, but she's a sociopathic female. So she gets with a white man that's on meth. I guess a sociopathic female ain't got no preference. Just long as you a man, she'll date you. Oh, she dates women too. She had a dark-skinned Black woman. She had a light-skinned, a caramel Black man, Elijah. Then I seen the of the guy that's posting on her Instagram that's saying something about have fun replacing your dead baby is what the dark-skinned Black dude that signed the first child's birth certificate. Yeah, I agree. What the fuck? Yeah. She had a dark, let me repeat it again. This is all facts. She got a dark-skinned Black chick. That woman left her, thank God. Then she had a caramel-complected Black dude putting the babies off on him. That's Elijah. Then the one that's on the Facebook talking about what you replacing your dead baby, talking about with the white dude that's on meth. So she don't have no standard. She don't have a standard at all. Yeah. I got her on my lives. I recorded her. You can hear it for yourself. Oh, by the way, 38 hours before her 4-month-old child died, she was celebrating the fact that my parents are deceased. Talking about that's why your daddy smoked cigarettes and died. Telling me I ain't got no man. My parents dead. Just crazy. Within 38 hours, she didn't have no man because hers was incarcerated. She got assaulted where she almost needed some stitches, but refused to go get medical treatment. You know, you got to have stitches usually within 6 hours of the injury. Then wondering why I wouldn't come around. But I ain't busted in my eye and need no stitches. That's why I didn't come around. Because I don't want no motherfucking stitches. You got to stay away from violence. But this sociopathic female, Child Protective Services, is aware. I need to contact the police. I'm not sure how much, if the police is technically aware that. I know the person, the individual that's informed me, read me the report, y'all. Oh, Wait a minute. King King W. Wait a minute. King W said, I got a Glock 19 and an AK-47. Where's she at? I don't play that. But you know what, King W 129? Let me tell you something. Listen to this very carefully. You know why I wouldn't tell you where she at? She not worth doing 1 hour in an interrogation. Some motherfuckers are not worth being locked up over. She's not even worth being killed. You are too good of a person to kill her. Kill me. I'm worth it. Take that Glock 19 and AK-47 and shoot me. You'll be able to sleep better. At least you unalive somebody that's trying to do something. Okay? Kaylin not worth it. And that's when she put her fist in my side. She didn't punch me in my side. But when she did that back in September 2024, I just didn't go around her. When she bum rushed her place in Elijah's residence. Elijah, he's not a good person right now, y'all. He could become a better person, but he's not a good person. I warned him. But he too good for Kaylin. This is really a low-life chick. I mean, I don't really agree that no woman should be abused per se, but this is a sociopathic female. So remember, when you're dealing with a sociopathic female, it's going to be worse than dealing with just a narcissist, y'all. It's going to be way worse and way more toxic. It's not going to be normal at all. But so, I mean, they're still doing the autopsy and the complete full body medical exam on the child. But when you're in a situation like that, when a mother, not you in a situation, when a mother is saying the baby been dead 10 days, when she said, since the baby's gone, or since he's gone, this 4-month-old baby of hers, she can sleep at night because she don't have to hear him crying. And then she dating a new white man that's a meth addict. So she get a black woman. She get a white man. She get a light-skinned black man. I mean, she just dating whoever. It don't matter to her. It's just supply. And she said Elijah's not important to her. He don't mean nothing to her. But she kept acting like she ran that game, y'all. Like she was really concerned about him. Told me I was a terrible mother because I'm not putting up with Elijah's shit. And she unalives. Her baby comes up unalived around her. And she could have potentially unalived her baby. That's motive, y'all. It's motive. When a mother says, when the child ain't even been dead 2 weeks, and basically the mother is saying what the benefits are to her own child being dead, and this is a baby, a 4-month-old. I'm not going to say that, you know, in all circumstances, somebody's child dying is not a relief. You know, I get that. But the thing is, when a lady is a sociopath, her relief has a different meaning to it. See, the motive behind why she's saying it is going to be different. That's empathic. And the timing that she's saying it. The timing's going to be different as well. It's not going to be congruent with the situation, if that makes sense. It's going to like not make sense of why she would even talk like that. It makes sense. And what it does, it creates reasonable doubt. It sure does. I mean, in a court of law, even in the human mind. You got a sociopath female and an undiagnosed psychopath. So you take an undiagnosed sociopath, she could be diagnosed, and then you take an undiagnosed psychopathic male. So you got a sociopathic female, and then you got a undiagnosed psychopathic male. She could also be an undiagnosed psychopath. She sure could. So you take two of these people together. They taking care of two children. Elijah contacted me when she was feeding the baby or allowing the baby to eat feces. The oldest child seemed to be attempting to care for himself, attempting to take his own diaper off. When he has shit, he starts eating the shit. It don't seem like no one's feeding him as quickly as he should be fed. I got a lot of kids, and none of my children had to dig in their diaper and eat doo-doo. None of them. I mean, because I'm going to get to changing them sooner versus later. I don't know what the outcome of this case is going to be. I'm going to create like a playlist. The death of the baby, or I'm trying to figure out what I could name the playlist. How this case turns out. I just want to know what the result will be. I'm getting a tad bit of information of what the autopsy is saying, but it's, I guess, not complete as far as I know. I'm just so glad that when law enforcement advised me to stay out of there, I stayed out of that apartment. I was gaslit on this. I told one gentleman, and I was very, very close to him. I said, the officer said, stay. And the way he pointed and stood as if somebody was going to die in that apartment. I never went back. I went back in there one time. That same day when he told me to stay out of there, I didn't obey his order right away. I said, well, no, officer, I want to go back in there because I don't want Kaylin and Elijah to get to fighting and something happen. But after I went in there that one time, I never went back. That was the same day that I called the police. I'm not a CPS caller or a DCF caller. But when I found out that this child was eating feces and Kaylin admitted to it and acted like it wasn't no big deal, and I was on the phone with her and Elijah, I felt obligated to, at a minimum, call the police. And the police called CPS. I just couldn't have that sitting on my conscience. I could hear through the phone that the oldest child didn't seem to be mentally the same. For one, after he ate the feces, he had a fever. Elijah and Kaylin said they took him to the primary care physician and he was diagnosed with an infection. And see, even CPS is dropping the ball because this oldest child, he has, real bad skin problems from what I hear, right? And one of the things that can make your skin act up, whether you have eczema or I think another skin condition is like psoriasis. A lot of these skin conditions act up, y'all, because of infections. Yes, if you are infected, you can have skin problems, y'all. And I'm talking about real, like if I'm having medical problems, my eczema acts up. My eczema normally does pretty good, but Child Protective Services, they're not protecting the oldest child that's still alive. I don't know why they would give a 1-year-old unsupervised visits when she's already stating, oh, thank you so much, King W129. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, check out my lives too. King W129 lives too. I liked your comment too. Yeah, check out my other lives. I'm at the library today, but I had promised y'all that I was gonna come out and tell y'all what the woman said. See, this ain't no man bashing channel, right? I am very fair and I do videos about both. I don't even own a TV. Why do I need a TV when I know about shit like this? I don't think I'm gonna be able to cut on my TV and find where some lady on a soap opera is calling her son and his crazy ass bitch. And we having a conversation about why it's not okay for a 1-year-old child to eat feces. I don't think I'm gonna click on the TV and find nothing like that. I really don't. So I'm learning a lot from the situation. And one of the things I'm learning is just don't help people. Just don't help people. Like I said, it's two things. We always looking at, well, if they triangulate, if they try to make you jealous, if they blame shift, if they have angry rages, if they don't act like they have a conscience, they act irritable, they act ungrateful. We all want to say, well, okay, these are sociopaths or narcissists and potentially some psychopaths, right? But sometimes you're looking way too far for the symptom. I told you, all people need now, y'all, is a freaking cell phone. And they litter. Look, if you pay attention to this sign, they litter up your freaking house. They throw garbage everywhere. They can't find the garbage can. They hide in garbage. That's a sociopath. He or she don't need to cuss you out, kill a baby, or beat you down, or shoot you. Littering. You won't hear this from no psychiatrist. You're not going to walk in a psychiatrist's office and they say, you know what? I'm going to tell you how to save your life. If you see people do this one thing, run. Because there's someone that does not have a conscience. It's true, y'all. People that have a conscience, one of the things they will do, I thought about this like over a week and a half ago. I was almost somewhat intimidated by my own thought. That's why I waited to upload this video. I was intimidated by my own thought, but I knew I had to come on here and tell y'all. Because see, as I grow in maturity, I've been able to look back and see these patterns. I have been able to look back and see these patterns in people. And I thought about it. I even did like a little checklist. Look, empathic people, people with empathy that know how to love, They throw their garbage in the garbage can, y'all. They don't be littering. You got to see these connections. Okay, so like I remember being displaced. Okay. I seen a lot of stuff right from my SUV. Right from my vehicle, I could see a lot of stuff. And a lot of those homeless guys and gals that had been out there for a very long time. I mean, literally sleeping on the streets. I'm in my sports utility vehicle, so I'm kind of like up high watching the world below. Somewhat comfort in these new vehicles, right? And I noticed these patterns. All them sociopaths out there that was displaced. There were some empathic people out there too. But the littering, I could go back. Even in my own relationships. Oh, another issue. Oh, God. Okay, so what other sign could you look for if they're not littering? Smoking marijuana. That would be the grass is greener on the other side symptom. These people don't need to beat your ass or cuss you out or assault you. You don't need to go visit them in jail and bring them home and they calling you bitches again. A lot of people they going to get their husbands and wives out of jail, their children, nieces, nephews, cousins. Some people will bail their neighbors' kids out. Going to court hearings and helping. But they litter, y'all. They litter. Way before Elijah was called an undiagnosed psychopath, when I could look back on one of the first signs that was early on, he started littering up my vehicle. I used to have to argue with Elijah. He would have all kind of candy wrappers, and this would be candy I wasn't even buying them, y'all. Stealing candy from the dollar store, after school, all kind of stuff. But that littering is a big deal. See, if you're in your vehicle or in your residence or you're roommating or you're in somebody else's residence, like right now I'm in the library. Okay, there's no garbage in here. There's this big, long meeting table. So there's 8 chairs. Okay, there's 8 chairs. There's a recycle bin and a trash can. So if I got up and I just took my vanilla latte right here and I just started pouring it on the ground and dumping it on the ground, just trashing up the room. In order for me to be doing that, there would have to be a part of me that has no remorse and that does not have a conscience. That's the key, y'all. The littering. And then for the ones that do throw their garbage away, if you want to look for other signs, regular drug and alcohol use. This is why I call this channel Advanced Insight Channel, because y'all bring information to me and I bring it to you. I've gotten so much advanced insight from y'all too, but littering is a big one. When you see people driving down the street and they throw garbage all out of their windows, some people will come to your residence. I watch that. If I get in the vehicle with somebody, it's a trait that even I noticed when I was with an aware narcissist. One time he had something in his vehicle that didn't seem very appropriate. He rolled my window down and threw it out of my window while I was in the passenger seat. Sure did. The aware narcissist did that. So you got to keep what the aware narcissist threw kind of like went past my face. It didn't hit me, but why couldn't he have thrown that item out of his window? They litter, they throw stuff out of cars. These are sociopaths. So see, you don't have to go through all this trouble. When you get with a woman, Kaylin and Elijah, both of them litter. Both of them litter. They throw trash all in that apartment. Thank you so much for the likes, y'all. Both of them litter. Let me look up. You know how I'm a word person. And then people that are exposed to these sociopaths that litter, look at projects, y'all. When you go on YouTube and you watch some of the hood shows and they show some of like the worst projects and worst housing developments, worst neighborhoods in the United States. You got real bad neighborhoods in Chicago, Philadelphia, Ohio. I mean, just horrible neighborhoods where like you got like serious hoods. Look at the alleyways. That's why a lot of housing projects be infested with rats and mice. Because you got all those sociopaths littering. Most of those neighborhoods, y'all, originally did not have all of the rats. Some of them rats big as dogs. Okay, so let me explain to you what littering is. And I want you to connect it to sociopathy. You're not going to hear this at the psychiatrist's office. I have just been around enough sociopaths and narcissists, and I'm not always ensnared by them. Like Elijah. He's ensnared. Kaylin ensnared him. I met her 3 times. I kept her away from my house and I got up out the situation. When I first went over there, she was littering. But Elijah does it too. So this is what littering is, y'all. Littering is the improper disposal of waste. Okay, it's improper. Okay, so if I take this latte I got and I pour it on this chair, I'm exposing of it improper. I don't even feel comfortable. Let me tell you something. This is liquid, right? I don't even feel comfortable pouring something out when it still has liquid in it. I'm going to finish drinking it. That way I can throw the empty cup out. Because guess what? That little thin garbage bag that this library got, that can actually, if it tears, this liquid can bust through it and mess up this nice carpet. So, okay, littering is the improper disposal of waste, such as trash, bottles, or debris. By discarding it onto public or private property, rather than in designated containers, it is a prohibited, often unlawful act that causes environmental damage, attracts pests, and creates safety hazards. I was just talking about the rats and mice that's infested in some of these hoods. And a lot of demonic energy is transferred and allowed to roam through rats too. I studied on that too. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. President Putin. When you look back at some of these like Hitler, Adolf Hitler, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia that started all that Ukrainian war stuff. What you got to do, that's why I like to watch documentaries, because there's certain patterns people have before they go into like a full-blown possession. Sociopaths litter, y'all. So check this out. If you make that a red flag now, maybe you won't be unalived. Maybe you won't date the wrong man. I will not date a man that's throwing garbage out of his vehicle, that's throwing garbage on the streets. Someone that's doing that, they don't have any empathy or care for the neighborhood or people that's around them. Throw some ketchup and fries all on the ground. Now someone steps on that. Now it's in somebody's shoes or gets in somebody's sandal. You're not going to hear this at the psychiatrist's office. The psychiatrist is not going to say, you know what? All people that litter, or most people that litter, are sociopaths. These are untrained. Sometimes they're more indecent than animals. Dogs lick themselves. A dog will take an old bone and put it in a certain area. Some dogs will throw their shit in the garbage. Look at some of these pit bull videos. They're smart as hell. A pit bull will walk the shit to the garbage and babysit for you. Take the baby too. I watch all kind of like really cute animal videos. So just keep this in mind. But ultimately, going back to the beginning of what I was saying, I'm glad I kind of waited to do this video, because even though I do a lot of videos, y'all, and I've uploaded over 1,000 videos on this channel alone. I have. Sometimes I still have to think, or sometimes I may be a little afraid to share my knowledge because of judgment. But it's my job here on this channel to share it. That's how you keep your subscribers and your views, by telling the correct information. And keeping kids now, y'all, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I am done with freaking kids. I don't want to be nobody's grandmama. I'm telling you something about kids now, right? They all gonna have cell phones usually. I try to limit how often my teenager is on his cell phone, but if you want to know what's the red flag on how to know if a child or someone is going to be very corrupt later, all you got to know is if that child has had access to a cell phone or a tablet. That's all they need. Not a computer. I'm not talking about like back in the day when we had a computer. If that child has had access to a tablet or a phone, they're going to be fucked up. Be done with kids. If you don't want to be cussed out, threatened, you got to get the police on them. Because see, that tablet and phone, Tablets, they can be seeming to be educational when children are small. But when they grow up, those kids are going to be messed up. So if you want to say, well, how do I know if I'm going to have problems with this child or not? There's a combination of things. The child has had access to tablets, phones, and devices outside of a computer. Right there. You're going to have problems with that child. Don't keep people's kids. It won't bring peace in your residence. See, I follow my own rules. Okay, so I'll go back to like Kaylin and Elijah. And I'm going to state this one more time. Please click a like, y'all. When a lady says, when her child has not even been deceased 2 weeks and the child is 4 months old, and she says, since he's gone, talking about her baby, she can sleep at night now, that's called motive. Maybe she did something to him out of anger to make sure that he's not crying or making noise. Those cases are so common, y'all. The crying children and the annoyance that people have to hear it. It's unnatural because you know what? In the United States, you don't have to watch the baby. You know, we have so many child murders in the United States, but we don't have to. Because from the moment you have a child, you're allowed to talk to a social worker and give that child up for adoption. You don't have to kill a baby in America. You're not forced to keep that child, not in America. You don't have to keep anybody you don't want to keep in America. You sure don't. But these are some red flags. So if you're considering taking kids on, whether it be your kids or somebody else's, or assuming that you did your best to raise yours, if you're considering helping somebody else with their children, even if it's your own nieces and nephews or grandchildren, it's still not your children. Those are your nieces and nephews. Those are your grandchildren. Those are your little cousins. If they have had access to a cell phone or a tablet, you will be in danger, and you will be keeping a sociopath or a sociopathic child or teenager, okay, or young adult, whatever age category they're in. And again, if you want to know the early major red flag sign that you're dealing with a sociopath, someone that has very little conscience, no conscience, or no remorse, basically a very cold-hearted, cruel person, especially one that's lacking intelligence, because most of them will not be in therapy. One of the major signs is that they litter. So my suggestion, if you go out on a date, I don't care what the gender is. I don't care if they're a lady, man, whomever you dating. If they a transgender, a gay person, a straight person, whatever they are, if you see their ass throw trash out your window, y'all walking through the park and they throw trash on the ground. I'm sitting here in the library. Oh, someone will throw fucking trash too. If I take this vanilla latte and I throw this motherfucker way over there to the trash, oh, I think I'll make it, y'all. But I leak all this shit on this library floor. This library floor is so pretty, y'all. If I do that shit, this shit splatter all on the library wall, I am a fucking sociopath. I would diagnose myself. I'm either a sociopath or you need to take me and lock me up permanently in a mental health or an insane asylum or a psychiatric ward. Keep me there for the rest of my fucking life. If I take this vanilla latte and I throw it, I'm within 20 feet of that garbage. So let me see, 6, 12, 18, actually 24 feet. I'm about 24 feet from that garbage can over there. This is still half full. If I take it and I throw it way over there and the shit spills all down the wall, gets on the carpet, and I just take my bag and my tablet, I close out this live and I just leave, I am a freaking sociopath. And I'm telling you this because I put it together. I thought about this for like a whole entire week. I said, oh my God, oh my Lord, that was one of the red flags. I had a boyfriend, my children's father. He used to litter in his vehicle. Another way he used to litter was through marijuana storage. You would get in his vehicle, there would be some littering, and then he would have all this cigarette and all this built up marijuana smell and stuff all in the front. It was just a hot mess. He was littering. He behaved like a sociopath, or what H.G. Tudor would call a lesser narcissist. He sure did. Again, King W129, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. And yeah, you'll enjoy my lives. You'll enjoy this channel. You sure will. You will enjoy this channel. So yeah. So I'm gonna create some kind of playlist on how the case is gonna go. I'm choosing more and more not to support people that I have helped, that abuse me, that name call. This is how you win too. You know, sometimes I have feelings, you know, when I've helped people, and I just do it out of the kindness of my heart. When they betray me or, you know, get disrespectful, sociopaths and wicked people are not always mentally ill, y'all. You got to understand this. You can be determined to have no mental illness, but you're just wicked. So how I win is this. I always remember this. For one, I'm going to slow down, stop, or put a cease, or I'm going to put a halt to how I help someone, especially if I see a pattern that I'm helping and they're wicked and abusive. But this is where I always win. I always know this in my soul. Anything that I've ever done for a narcissist, emotionally support them, be there for them, and I mean completely be by their side. I always remember this, and I know this for a fact. What I do for them, the time I take up, the appointments I go to, the court dates I go to, the money I've given them, the kindness I've showed them, even when I'm going through my own stages of reactive abuse. Because narcissists and sociopaths and psychopaths are very provocative. They're very provoking to people because they're repeatedly name calling and abusing. I always remember this. What I do, they'll never be able to do for anyone until the day they leave this earth. What I have done for them, it's not even in them to do it. So that's where they lose. They have a dirty soul. And ultimately, what hurts a person is when what they're the most good at is being abusive. It's not a good thing that your best quality is being an abuser. Oh, so more examples of littering, y'all. So I wanted to finish reading this. Dropping food packaging or cigarette butts on the sidewalk. These are examples, okay? Throwing trash out of a vehicle window. I mentioned that. Okay. Leaving debris behind in parks or on benches. Failing to secure a garbage load, allowing it to blow out onto the road. Discarding household waste on private property or in unauthorized areas. And this would include furniture, y'all. Some people would just throw furniture all on the side of the road. I remember the aware narcissist that I was with. He helped me move. And it was a couple of furniture items that I was okay with him discarding. But at no point did I approve of him putting it on the sidewalk. I couldn't even believe I drove down the street and this man had set my furniture in like a little parking lot, like the whole traffic could see it. He was an aware narcissist. Maybe he's a sociopath as well. They litter, y'all. That's a sign. I'm telling you, the patterns that I've noticed, even going back to, I could go back to childhood. See, I've been around long enough where I've been around some kids that grew up and became a sociopath. They litter, y'all. They litter, I'm telling you. So synonyms of littering would be dropping, leaving items on the ground, disposing of trash in unauthorized areas, scattering waste in a disordered fashion, making an area untidy with waste. They'll do this a lot in a home too. Contaminating the environment with waste, creating an untidy, disorganized space. This is part of littering. Common locations for littering. Littering thrown by pedestrians. These are sociopaths, y'all. I'm trying to get you to see an early warning sign. You first go out on a blind date. You shouldn't be on dating apps. It's dangerous. But you out on a date, you feel comfortable. They throwing trash all over the place. Don't go back. You'll be safe. You won't be unalived, right? Roadways, trash discarded from vehicles, garbage thrown into lakes, rivers, and oceans. This is a good one. You should go to Missouri and see the Mississippi River, y'all. Oh my God, it was one of the filthiest rivers I ever seen in my life. Private property, improper disposal on land not owned by the litterer. So this is littering. Again, it's the improper disposal of waste, such as trash, bottles, or debris, by discarding it onto public or private property rather than in designated containers. It is prohibited, often unlawful act that causes environmental damage, attracts pests, and creates safety hazards. Kaylin and Elijah was doing a lot of littering in a studio apartment. Both behaved like undiagnosed sociopaths and psychopaths. And as a result, a baby dies. Those are my facts right there. The result of sociopaths littering first can lead to death. It's one of the main silent cues that you can cue into to know what somebody's personality is. I'm not a sociopath, so I'm going to drink this latte and I'm going to make sure it's all gone. I don't even feel comfortable putting it in this meeting room. I'm going to take it and put it at the front trash where the receptionist is at. Where the librarians, there's more librarians over there, because guess what? They dump that trash more often. Someone may not come in this big meeting room till tomorrow. So I'm not even going to dump this in here because that garbage is empty. I'm going to take it to the front because I'm not a sociopath. So see, I'm considerate of what I'm doing. So I hope this video helped y'all. I'm telling you what I know. That's why it's good to come here. Kaylin's, the death of her child is definitely, from my perspective, in the court of law, if anything came down on it, it would be a lot of reasonable doubt there. This is a mother that cares nothing about her children. Like she says, since the baby's gone, she could sleep at night now, y'all. Oh, well, he's gone to her. She can sleep right over there with her white man meth addict. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. I promised y'all I would do the video. I'm going to release this video to the public right away. Right away, y'all. Again, please like, share, subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. I hope this helped y'all. I hope this helped. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. And thank you so much for the 5 likes. I try to do my diligent work on this channel, y'all. I am here for you, and I'm not going anywhere. Daniel and I had kind of a rough day today, y'all, but we'll make it. It's not always easy having a family, y'all. The thing with family, just stick together and get through it. We had a little stressful day, but it's getting better. The library is always a relief. And we're for sure that we can always get redirected and refocused when we come to the library and get our own time, our own solitude, y'all. Did y'all have any questions before I go? Any questions? Any questions, y'all? Thank you to whomever said he. Daniel Cutrin, welcome back as well. Thank you so much to everyone that left a comment. I appreciate all of you. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. Thank you. Bye.